Welcome back, folks. I'm Jake Ellenbogen. Today I'm going to be talking about the Rams kind of out of the blue signing. Really quiet. No one's really talking about it, but Tony Fields from the Browns IR was cut, and he is signing with the Rams practice squad. So we're going to get into exactly what he brings to the table, why I feel like this is a really good move for the Rams. While I really wanted Jamin Davis, who just signed with the Packers, I think Tony Fields has a shot. Tony Fields II, has a shot to not only be on this 53-man roster at some point, but actually play meaningful snaps on the defensive side of the ball. Before we dive into it, be sure to like, subscribe, and comment. Also, be sure to follow me on all social media at JKBogan, including Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, and Kick. And I just want to let you guys know that today's sponsor is Via. Fall is here, and so is Via to help you embrace the natural power of cannabis this season. Via's premium, federally legal cannabis products are your perfect companion, farmed and crafted with care in the U.S. and trusted by over 500,000 customers. Via has a product for everyone. Via just launched their high THCA flower in 7-gram and 28-gram bags and brand new flavors for THCA vapes line, so you have more options than ever to blaze your own trail. Via is also well renowned for their award-winning THC and THC-free gummies and vapes, soothing topicals, and calming drops, all crafted with the highest quality hemp sourced from trusted, independently owned American farms. And the best part, Via legally ships to nearly all states in the U.S. in discreet packaging directly to your door with a worry-free guarantee. No medical card required. So if you're 21 or older, check out our link today. You go to Via's website in our description for 15% off and use promo code JKBogan to get that 15% off. After you purchase, let them know that you heard from me. And please support our show. Tell them we sent you this fall. Enhance your everyday with Via. I love Via. I use it quite often. Never used them before. As you guys know, this is not the first time me bringing them up. I love working with them, supporting them. And I just love, legitimate companies, legitimate brands that are all about quality instead of quantity. And that is Via. So definitely get your 15% off today. Check out the link in the description below and use the promo code JKBogan to get that. All right, guys. So Tony Fields II, interesting stuff, by the way, because this is a guy that I actually was a huge fan of coming out of West Virginia. And I'm actually going to read off some of my tweets from, I think it was 2021. It was kind of crazy because this is a player that I really liked and then kind of forgot about. He just hasn't really had the opportunities in the NFL on the level that you were hoping for. So Tony Fields II, this is a April 14th tweet from 2021. Tony Fields II really transferred from Arizona, got to West Virginia, and instantly became the centerpiece of their defense. Wow, I like this guy a lot. I know at Ram Tommy in LA has been all over him, so I'm not claiming he's my guy, but I love his versatility and closing speed. I went on to say on April 14th, 2021, clearly I was watching his film and just was tweeting about it. Yeah, I'm just really now diving into the Tony Fields II tape, and he's a flat-out stud. Could be an under-the-radar gem in the draft with how quickly he can fit in the West Virginia defense after spending 3 years with Zona. Think he can start day one in the NFL. Man coverage is his only weakness. Interesting. So I watched some Tony Fields tape before I did this show, or this episode, whatever, video, and I came away impressed. This guy's 25 years old, just signed to the Rams practice squad. He played the first game of the year, played about 12 snaps, and then he gets hurt. He hurts his ankle. He goes on IR. He's just kept on IR. So they end up just cutting him. Now he gets a chance to sign, so he's healthy. Like I mentioned, Arizona transferred to West Virginia's last year, drafted in the 5th round in 2021, the same year that Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah was drafted by the Browns, so they double dipped. He ran a 4.6 40, a 1.61 10-yard split, so he's a very good athlete. He's an aggressive player that plays like his hair is on fire. I think that's just something that jumps off the tape. Does a great job of penetrating the backfield, can beat that lead blocker and disengage, which is something that I think a lot of the guys on the roster right now struggle with, mainly Christian Roseboom, Troy Reeder, Jake Hummel to a degree. The thing that stands out on tape with Fields is his tackling for me. Not only does he take the best angles when he's going to make a tackle, but he's really technically sound as a pure tackler, and it's noticeable. This is a guy that, really is going to finish his tackle. You're not going to see those ankle bite opportunities. You're not going to see any of those. You're going to see a guy that gets himself in a perfect position, kind of frames himself. Even when he doesn't have the best angle, he's going to turn it into the best angle and kind of reposition himself to make sure that he is hitting the bullseye as a tackler. So that's something that I noticed immediately. Made a really nice play near the sideline. I was watching where the ball carrier, kind of had a little bit of a jolt of speed, and he was still able to get in front of him and just basically square himself up and make a form tackle. So you love to see that. Not a guy that's just going to dive at your knees or dive at your ankles. He's trying to make a form tackle, and I always give guys like that a lot of props. Very high character guy. That I can tell you right now fits the locker room well. Very we not me. Just the things that I've heard. There were things like there was a kid who was at one of the functions, like a team was hosting, and he was clearly upset, and he goes over and he talks to the kid. Doesn't have to do it at all. Came over, talked to the kid. That's the type of guy he is, right? He made his day and everything. So I've heard some great things about, Tony Fields, but, he only played 14 snaps this year, and he has 524 career snaps on defense. He's only missed 5 tackles in that. He has a 74.1 targeted passer rating, which is really good. He has an interception and a forced fumble. I think the problem with Fields is that he ran into the fact that the Browns drafted Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah. They also have Jordan Hicks, who's a very good technically sound veteran, very good player, just, rock solid. Devin Bush, Khaleke Hudson. And then they had a 2024 pick in Nathaniel Watson. So I think he just, kind of in a contract year, kind of got displaced. In the past, I think they've had other guys. Sion Takitaki was on this team as well, another draft pick. So they've had guys in the past that were in front. I think this is just what happens. Unfortunately, you have a guy that was drafted in the 5th round. Not everybody gives these guys the best opportunities to make the team. And when they do, they'll give them the best opportunities to play. And so Tony Fields could very well be a hidden gem here because he's only played on one team in one organization. And they've always loaded up on linebackers. They did it this year. They've done it in years past. So it's easy to just kind of get forgotten about when there are that many names. Right now, there aren't that many names on the Rams. That is a really good opportunity now for Fields because he's in a contract year. He's trying to, get that value up there, right? And so in doing so, getting him out there, getting him ready, getting him into the rotation, well, now Troy Reader's on IR. Now you have Christian Rozeboom, Jake Hummel, and Omar Speights. That is it. So if he gets, elevated to the 53-man roster or just elevated to the game day roster, then he is the 4th inside linebacker on the team. That adds some depth, but I think he has a lot to his game where he could be the best linebacker already on the team. He just needs to have, some sort of stability, some sort of understanding of the defense. You can't just throw him right in there, but I think this is a guy that, you give him some time, he gets comfortable, and you'd be surprised. He could end up being maybe a Justin Hollins type, albeit Justin Hollins was very familiar with the defense that Brandon Staley was running because he came from Brandon Staley, with the Broncos, but could be like a Justin Hollins or a Kenny Young where, he ends up starting for the team. Who knows? But Fields was on IR with an ankle injury, like I mentioned. The Browns just recently released him. And right after, he actually had a really good workout with the Ravens, and the Rams jumped to sign him. So the hope is with Tony Fields is that you're getting a player in a contract year that could be a hidden gem. You need to fill a hole because Troy Reader is on IR until the Eagles game. And right now you're rolling with Omar Speights, Jake Hummel, and Christian Rozeboom, only one of which has actually had a legitimate start in the NFL. Omar Speights and Jake Hummel are both UDFAs, so is Christian Rozeboom. So Fields has a shot to carve out a role indeed and can also play on special teams. I think he, just watching the tape, he's displayed the ability to play the run well, work in coverage. I think there's a real chance the Rams might have found a gem here. The Browns, unlike the Rams, had plenty of linebacker depth. And I think if you're going to make any sort of noise on this Rams team, it's going to be in the linebacker room because they're really not sure what they're doing there. They're testing out Omar Speights. They're testing out Jake Hummel. They're, all this. But he has a shot. So definitely do not blow this off like this is just one, okay, it's a move, whatever. The beauty about the NFL, though, is that sometimes you have guys slip through the cracks. Sometimes injuries happen. Sometimes new regimes happen. Sometimes you're drafted by the wrong team. And, I think because of that, there's always kind of and not always, I mean, there are guys that have gotten screwed in the past, but the beauty of it is that you could see like a Geno Smith, was on the Giants, the Jets, then he goes to the Seahawks, and people laugh at the idea the Seahawks are actually considering in training camp starting Geno Smith at quarterback, and people are laughing at that idea, and he ends up taking over for Russell Wilson and doing a really good job, and he's been a better quarterback than Russell Wilson since they parted with Russell Wilson. So, guys like that. Sam Darnold's a nice example, and then you've had other guys. I mean, let's not forget, Darren Waller. I understand, he retired or whatever ended up happening with him. But Darren Waller initially was going through a lot of off the field stuff and was a wide receiver that just could not cut it on the Ravens. And so he got cut, and then he moved to tight end and ended up being a stud on the Raiders. So, your story is never really written fully in this game. And, I think the hope is for Fields, and definitely he has a shot, to contribute and be one of those guys down the stretch for the Rams. And, we're talking about a guy who, let's be honest here, we're talking about a guy who has a golden opportunity to carve out a role and be on a defense that is really turning a corner and potentially play deep into January, into February, okay? This is an opportunity for Fields. We'll see what ends up happening. We'll see if he ends up getting anything. We've also seen guys picked up by the Rams and nothing comes of it. I don't think that's the case with Fields. I don't think they just signed him to replace Reeder in number on the roster. I think they might actually replace Reeder fully if Fields works out. So keep an eye on him. This is in no way anything against Omar Speights or Jake Hummel or Christian Roseboom, but I'm a believer in putting the best 53 on the 53-man roster. I'm a believer in having the best roster possible. I don't believe in the idea where your second string and your third string has to be guys that are second string and third string players. I am all about the way the Rams are doing things. I think right now they have a lot of talent in the secondary that they now have to, kind of rotate, right? We're seeing that in the safety room. We're seeing that at corner. That's what I like. I'd rather rotate. You're going to play so many snaps on defense. If you can give different looks and different personnel groupings, by all means. And I think Tony Fields offers something that maybe some of the others don't. So I'm excited for that. We'll see what ends up happening. But very much excited to see if this ends up turning into anything. And I've always thought he was a good player. But, I do think sometimes you get drafted by the wrong team, and the Browns just clearly weren't the right team for him. So we'll see if the Rams struck gold. It wouldn't be the first time. Darius Williams, Marquis Christian, guys that played valuable roles, Blake Countess. We'll see if you can add Tony Fields to that list. But be sure to like, subscribe, and comment if you enjoyed this. Be sure to check out Via. Link is in the description below. Using my code JKBogan will get you 15% off. And I'll see you guys soon. Later, folks. Do you love talking about the Rams, the NFL, or just want to be a part of a community? Join my free Discord server today. We're over 800 members. We got 24/7 live chat, a level 3 boosted server, the ability to call into JE Live, playing online games with us on Kick streams, toggleable alerts for when I go live on YouTube or Kick so you don't miss a live stream, and exclusive giveaways. Click the link in the description, the comments section, or the link that comes up in the video to learn more and join today.